First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor as due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Newers in this gospel, bro. Lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is titled, Eventually the Arrows Will Fly. Okay? Eventually the arrows will fly. And those arrows that I'm speaking to is going into the thermonuclear missiles, okay, that's mentioned in Isaiah the 34th chapter, Joel the 3rd chapter, Joel the 2nd chapter, and pretty much every prophet in the Bible has spoke about the nuclear destruction, okay? Second Ezra 15, Second Ezra 16, mainly when the scriptures say that the arrow should be marched as a mighty archer, when it should be shot into the ends of the world. The ends of the world is talking about over here in America, because as we know that basically Iran, they retaliated against Israel for the imp strike they've done, I want to say over a week and a half ago. You got this guy Biden that was basically saying that an attack from Iran was imminent, and eventually the Iranians, which is the Elamites or Elam or the Carmenians that the Bible talks about, they came and they actually retaliated against the small hats. Now the small hats are coming up with strategic planning to see how to retaliate. So now everybody is on edge because, for one thing, America wants them to stand down because Biden, you know, he figured it out. Like even Trump, when they assassinated, what is this guy named Soleimani Husseini, I believe, back in 2020, when America assassinated the Iranian general. Basically, when Iran retaliated, then Trump wanted to retaliate, but he realized, like, wait a minute, through his general was telling him, like, look, we can retaliate, but if you do, just know that Iran will lay all your, pretty much your defense systems and all your American bases in the Middle East. They would just totally decimate them. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, Trump was like, well, fuck, we got to save, you know, face for country. So therefore, he came out with a lot of slanderous accusations on those not the small hats, but the Iranians. So, long story short, he didn't retaliate. So now, fast forward 4 years later, this guy Biden is telling Israel, look, to stand down, because we don't have the necessarily manpower to deter the Iranians' defense systems. Because what happened was Iran was just showing that they can touch Israel. Okay, they wasn't even trying to fuck them up, so to speak, but they were just showing them, like, look, we could touch you if we want to. Because I believe they said at the Iron Dome that defense systems completely failed them. You know, I believe like a couple of missiles was shot down, but overall they didn't even shoot the supersonic missiles, because those missiles or those guidance systems wouldn't be able to deter the Iranian strike. Okay, like I believe the Iron Dome defense systems was set up for like ICBMs, ballistic missiles, you know, but overall, so basically the Israeli defense systems completely failed, because realizing now that Iran, as well as North Korea, Russia, China, all these nations are playing with nuclear technology, man. And even though Iran denies having any type of nuclear capability, they don't need nuclear capability, because for the simple fact that, okay, according to Ezekiel the 38th chapter, the scriptures tell God that he was gonna be a guardian to these smaller nations. So you got Iran, okay, you got Turkey, you got China, you got Syria, all these nations that Iran was gonna guard and protect from the Western allies or the NATO forces. So now they're strategically planning how to attack Iran, okay? Because this guy Biden went ahead and said, well, look, we need to figure out how to deal with a diplomatic peaceful solution, which that's this guy's, that's this man's answer to everything, diplomatic peaceful shit. But wait a minute, man, you're not a peaceful man. So why would anybody deal, quote unquote, diplomatically with you? Okay, so it's not gonna happen. You're gonna be drawn into this third world war, whether you like it or not. Okay, because now Israel is calling for the defenses of America and of the West to come to their aid against Iran, because they know that Russia is basically making threats towards America in the West, saying, look, if you attack Iran, then we gonna defend them. So now they need NATO involved in it, because overall NATO is a ally of America on paper. Now Turkey condemned the strikes. Turkey condemned Israel and stated that, well, look, man, that wasn't an ethical thing. That was against national security interests, and that was basically an act of war. So now it's looking like Turkey is getting ready to succeed from NATO, which they've been on shaky ground with NATO for some time anyway. Okay, going back into the coup of 2014, 2015, I believe around those years. Not America, but Turkey has not been seeing eye to eye with NATO for some time, man. Okay, which goes into the scriptures of Revelation 17 and 15, when it says that the beast should hate the whore, and they should burn her and burn her flesh with fire, roughly paraphrasing it. You know, so this guy Netanyahu, you know who, I'll say it that way, basically he has to keep this thing going, because if not, then they're gonna lock his ass up. For one thing, he's trying to do what he called an ethnic cleansing. You see, he wants to rid the land of all those Palestinians, man. Okay, and he straight Amalek, because he even went as far to call those Palestinians, he called them Amalek, man. Which, no, they're not the Amalekites. You're the Amalekite. Okay, you're the small hat. You're the Edomite. Okay, as we know, Amalek was the grandson of Esau, and that's who these small heads are. They represent him in the Bible, though they claim it to be us. Okay, so World War III is inevitable, and honestly speaking, World War III is already started. You know, it tells us in Revelation that, behold, it says the second woe is past, behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And the third woe goes into the world wars. Okay, the first woe, the second woe, and the third woe. We've been in the third woe since the time of the Cold War, but things were going to escalate around the time that Yahweh Shah was going to come back and redeem the hopeful elect. And this is where we're at now. All right, so with that being said, if somebody want to put Isaiah 34 on the comment board, and somebody can give me 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter. And also, any brother out there, you can put up 2nd Esdras 15, starting at verses 28, when it goes into a horrible vision from the east. Because right now, what we're seeing Esau right here, but what we're seeing a deterrent of forces making their way to the Middle East, man, because now America, they have to deploy troops to that region in order to keep some type of stability before things get out of hand. But this is all Yahweh Shai's ultimate plan and goal, to set these nations up to fight World War III, man. Okay, and the scriptures prophesied of a third woe, of a World War III, the war to end all wars. Because when you go into Matthew's the 24th chapter, Yahweh Shai said it. He said that should be nation should rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there should be famine and pestilence in diverse places. But Syria, Iran, North Korea, South Korea, China, Japan, Libya, Turkey, NATO, the EU. Okay, we're seeing all these nations come and they're forming an alliance and choosing particular sides in order to pretty much take over the world, man. Rogue domination. But we understand that that's not going to be the case, because Yahweh Shai is going to come back and he's going to put an end to all this fighting by destroying these other nations and subjugating them, man. You know, because the earth needs new rulership. Okay, the so-called white man, the Edomites and the other nations, they have been proven that they are not capable of running the planet Earth in prosperity. Okay, no peace. They talk all these peace talks in the Middle East, but there's never no peace, man. Okay, it's been nothing but fighting, countless wars, death, mass casualties. And don't let it fool you. I think that footage that they showed of Iran striking Israel, that wasn't even a real footage. Allegedly, that was the footage from those Texas wildfires, which me personally, I believe that was by like what they call a DEW, direct energy weapon. Because certain people got like footages from the satellites from the heavens, and they saw like energy beings being shot down on particular structures out there. So me personally, I believe that was something Esau did, but who knows, you know. But basically the footage that they were showing wasn't even a real footage, in some cuts, because they don't really want you to know what's really going on over there in Israel. Okay, they're trying to save face for public, to keep public opinion on their side, to say that the small hats are victim. But everybody is waking up that the fact that the small hats have been causing mass genocide for decades, man. And everybody is realizing that that whole holler, you know what, is nothing more but a mere hoax. Okay, it didn't happen, and it didn't happen at the way that they claim, you know. So anyway, this is edification for the hopeful elect of Israel. Isaiah 34:1, it says here, come near ye nations to hear, and hearken ye people, and let the earth hear and all of it says, and all that is therein, the world and all the things that come forth of it. It says here, for my indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, okay? And the indignation of the Lord is thermonuclear missiles, because what we're going through now is a transition of rulership, okay? We're transitioning from this old current world, this Edomite power structure, to the rulership of Yahweh Shai and the elect on down. King David all the way down to the last member of the hopeful elect, okay? And the kingdom is going to be really given to all Israel, but there will be a hierarchy, there will be a government or a ruling class that's going to rule the new world, okay? And we ain't talking about no new world order as far as Esau is concerned when he wants AI ruling over you. Like they came out and they said that in a couple of short years, AI is going to pretty much have control over humanity. And I could really believe that, because AI is like Esau's demigod on the left. He's like a left-hand side Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And I'm not equating the power, because there's no comparisons to our Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But when you look at AI is completely unfathomable. Okay, some people say that it's like they had something which was called Beast, I think back in the early 2000s, which was alleged like a central computer, like a main computer, like a mainframe computer that controls all the roads, AI and internet and all this other stuff, fiber optics, and they called it Beast, I believe. But like this AI right now, and they showing you in the movies, like literally, I wouldn't be surprised if you had movie directors in Hollywood using AI to generate scripts, okay? Because like it's crazy how AI is pretty much taking over everything. Like it reads, it writes, it draws up images, it tells you where you're gonna be. You know, you can download an AI app and say, well, look, show me what the Israelites look like, and they would show you all Black, Hispanic, and Native American people. You know, I can go on AI right now and say, hey, write me a 10-page movie script, and it will do it. So if it's doing it on these small, minute levels, then how much more on a geological level, man? You know, as far as war, geopolitics, it's getting scary, man. And that was the war that pretty much ended humanity on the Matrix. Okay, Morpheus was telling Neo about it. He said that there was a war between the machines, and it says that we don't know who struck first, but we do know that us humans, we scorched the sky, because that was like a nuclear fallout, man. You know, so with that being said, AI is like a constant growing thing, and you can't fathom it. And that's basically Esau's way of playing the Most High. And what he don't understand is that that AI shit, hey, he's gonna be taken by it, okay? Because with a simple fact, he doesn't know how to harness power. He's the wicked. You know, he has no balance. You know, but let me park and I'll get the rest of these precepts real quick. Give me a second, brothers. I'm at this little destination, this little work thing we gotta do today, but I got a little minute so I can kind of pump out another show, Lord's will. The spirit be on me to do it. But Slocky, give me a second, man. I need to, oh, that's the spirit, Isaiah 43. That's the spirit, check that out. Isaiah 43, that's the spirit called Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And that's the spirit, we're Isaiah 34 right now. Even though 43 and 34, they're the same number, it's just backwards. So that's dope. Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And I'm gonna have to meditate on that Isaiah 43. But anyway, let's get it. And it says here, and the indignation is upon his fury and their armies, and he have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. And this is talking about in the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right. But it says the slain also should be cast out, and their stink should come up out of their carcass, and the mountain should be melted with their blood. And that's going into the nuclear destruction. And this is really going to you Edomites, because when you go down in chapter, I think 34 and 14, it goes that my sword should be bathed in heaven, and it should come down upon Idumea unto the people of my curse, and that's you Edomites, okay? Because we know that you are cursed of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, okay? This is the book of Matthew 24:7, and it reads, it says, for nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there should be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places, right? And we're seeing earthquakes, we're seeing pestilence, we're seeing famines, okay? Which they're orchestrating a famine here in the West by slowing down global supply chains. You got logistics, you got bridges being shut down, you got mass protests. They shut down the O'Hare Airport, or the walkway to the O'Hare Airport, because allegedly these people from I don't know if they were the Palestinians or I don't know, but they were protesting what was going over there in the east. So I believe like the Brooklyn Bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge, they had to shut these things down because people were protesting, man, the injustices that's being done to their people, which in realistically, that land belongs to none of you. Okay, that land does not belong to the Hamites. It does not belong to the Edomites. It does not belong to the Ishmaelites or the Elamites. Okay, that land belongs to the 12 tribes of Israel, which is the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But Jake is so stupid. You know, Jacob is so fucking through to the point he don't even realize that he's not even in his own land. You know, you ask Jake, hey, what land have you come from? I come from Africa. You know, nigga equate everything with Africa, man. Kemet, which Kemet goes back into the Hebrew word chum, which means hot. You got Jake that's all into Kemet, which that deals with morality. I say it that way. Momoism. You know, Cyrus, what is it? Amun-Ra, and you got Horus. You got what's this other guy's name? You got Horus, you got Osiris, and then I forgot the other one. But either way it go, they all a bunch of moles, man. And this is the ideology that a lot of you Jakes adopt to, you know, because you don't understand the truth. All right. But anyway, it says, for nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there should be famines and earthquakes and pestilence in diverse places. Right. Okay. Revelation 11:14, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. And we're in the third woe now, you know. I remember years ago you had a couple of Jakes that bucked up and stated that the third woe wasn't talking about World War. But I mean, what else could it be talking about if it wasn't talking about World War? You know, like I said, the third woe technically started right after World War II. I believe World War II ended in 1945, if I'm not mistaken. And then a couple of years, but I'm going to say like a couple of years after that, maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 plus years from what I can recall, going back into the history, I believe the Cold War kicked off. Okay, probably even sooner than then. But we're still in the Cold War, which, you know, between the USSR and the NATO alliances, which was started back in 49, I believe, was set up to combat the Eastern Bloc, which is the former USSR, which Russia is getting back in that primitive spirit. Okay. So with that being said, man, hey, this thing is getting ready to kick off, but we do understand that before this war can go nuclear and global, there has to be a major prophecy that has to come to pass first, which is the MOTB, which Esau is behind in that. Okay, so I believe through the spirit, this is why Biden is not really going to, well, he's a coward anyway, but this is why I feel like the Most High has kind of stalemated him at this time, because America has to catch up. They've passed what they call the Fed now, back in July last year. And I remember prior to that, they did a 12-week pilot program showing how they were going to deal with the CBDCs through FedNow, which FedNow is basically going to be like the app algorithm to the Central Bank digital currencies, which the Central Bank digital currency is nothing but digital currency. Okay, and I believe all those particular endeavors will be put on the micro CHIP, you know, because people came out and mentioned, they said, well, look, the CBDC is something that you put in your hand or in your arm or in your forehead, which is the micro CHIP, as we know as the MOTB, you know, the mark of the beast, Revelation 13 and 16. So, hey, we just have to wait and see. But none collapse. And when the US dollar collapse, that's when I believe, me personally, I believe this is when all these nations are going to pretty much retaliate against America, because the US dollar is the central reserve currency of the earth. So once that fails and they set up this MOTB or the CBDC, that's when the allies going like, you know what, we've had enough of this shit. You know, you've gotten us into this war to the point, and really the small hats, because the small hats are pushing America into this war. But overall, they know that America backed the small hats. So with that being said, I believe once the dollar collapse, I believe that's when those nuclear missiles are going to be shut off, because they're going to have to institute the MOTB shortly thereafter. And right after they institute the MOTB, we may have months before Yahweh Shah comes back, man. Okay? But anyway, with that, brothers, you few sisters out there, I want to say shalom to you brothers out there, you Aquathium, your Achium and Aquathium out there. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah brought a thumb to y'all, you know, with the water for tuning in. Salakia, this lesson was on the fly. You know, but Lord's will, you were edified into the next lesson. Shalom. And hey, may the Lord be with you. Shalom.